Magandang hapon, good afternoon. Madyaw na anlaw kamayo ubos. Maayong hapon, province of Davao de Oro, especially to our learners and listeners. I know that you are all excited to explore and learn something new from us today. We will be radio teachers for this session. Teacher Marivic of Gayab Elementary School
and Teacher Tating of Makuhait Central Elementary School. How are you today? Do you feel well and fine? I hope so. Just be with us as we share to you our 45-minute lesson in Science 6.
And now, kindly get your Science 6 module, Quarter 1, Module 1, Lesson 2, Separating Mixtures Through Evaporation. Do you have your module with you now? Good! This module was designed to provide you with interesting and significant prospects for guided and independent learning. In using this module, here are some few reminders. First, use the module with care. Do not put unnecessary mark or marks on any part of the module. Use separate sheet of paper in answering the exercises. Second, don't forget to answer what I know before moving on to the other activities included in the module.
Read the instructions carefully before doing each task. Number 4. Observe honesty and integrity in doing the task and checking your answers. Number 5. Finish the task at hand before proceeding to the next. And number 6. Return this module to your teacher once you are through with it. To our dear grade 6 pupils, welcome to the grade 6 alternative delivery module on separating mixtures through evaporation.
Are you now ready for another fun and exciting lesson this afternoon? Very good. Please open your module on page 2 for the exercises What I Know. This activity aims to check your knowledge about what lesson are we going to take. And please use a separate sheet of paper for your answer. Direction. Write the letter of the correct answer. Do it in your science journal or notebook. Again, use a separate sheet of paper and write the letter of the correct answer. Ready?
What method is used to obtain salt from seawater? A. Decantation. B. Sedimentation. C. Evaporation. D. Filtering. Again, what method is used to obtain salt from seawater? A. Decantation. B. Sedimentation. C. Evaporation. D. Filtering. Number 2. Which of the following examples undergo evaporation process? A. A pail of water under the heat of the sun. B. Brushing your teeth after meal. C. Ironing of clothes every weekend. And D. Listening to the radio. Again, which of the following examples undergo evaporation process? A. A pail of water under the heat of the sun. B. Brushing your teeth after meal. C. Ironing of clothes every weekend. D. Listening to the radio. Number 3. It is the main factor that causes evaporation process in separating mixture. A. Water. B. Heat. C. Smoke. D. Light. Again, it is the main factor that causes evaporation process in separating mixture. A. Water. B. Heat. C. Smoke. D. Light. Number 4. Princess accidentally spilled a glass of water in the salt container. and she is thinking with a solution on how she is going to recover salt from water. What will Princess do to return the salt to its original phase? A. She will wrap it with newspaper tightly. B. She will throw it away in the waste can. C. She will hide it in a dark corner. D. She will boil the solution. Again, number 4. Princess accidentally spilled a glass of water in the salt container, and she is thinking with a solution on how she's going to recover salt from water. What will Princess do to return the salt to its original phase? A. She will wrap it with newspaper tightly. D. She will throw it away in the waste can. C. She will hide it in a dark corner. D. She will boil the solution. While boiling water in a kettle, Gwen noticed that there are smoke coming from the spout of a kettle. He asked his mother, "Why did the smoke rise upward?" And what do you think will be the mother's answer? A. Because the water reached its cooling point. B. Because the water reached its boiling point. C. Because the water is heated and become water vapor. D. Because the water is freezing. Again, number 5. While boiling water in a kettle, Gwen noticed that there are smoke coming from the spout of a kettle. He asked his mother, "Why did the smoke rise upward?" What do you think will be the mother's answer? A. Because the water reached its cooling point. D. Because the water reached its boiling point. C. Because the water is heated and become water vapor. D. Because the water is freezing.
Write E if the following conditions undergo the evaporation technique of separating mixtures, and N if not. Number 6. Water in the canal becomes less after the rain. Number 7. Doormat on the floor. Number 8. Wet hair becomes dry. Number 9. Chair on the ground. Number 10. Cooling after sweating. We will check your work after these few reminders.
The Radyo Z-eskwela program of the Division of Davao de Oro is being brought to you by Nueda Builders Construction and Supply Incorporated, Maverick Builders Incorporated, Mitch Construction and Supply, Archicons Architectural Construction and Supply, DB Construction and Supply, Hanaway Builders Corporation, Phoenix Corbada Tagum Gasoline Station, Master Construction and Supplies, Mackenzie Builders, GP&H Construction Incorporated, Metro Gear Construction Corporation, NEN Builders and Development Services Corporation, Max Mays Enterprises Incorporated, We Inc. Construction Company, Rangay Construction and Supply, East Sussex Enterprise, WM Construction, Councilor Boogie and Miss Marjorie Vertodazo, Icon Builders and Supply, and Apex Mining Company Incorporated.
We're back, and now Let us try to check how far you have known about our lesson today. Ready? Answer for question number 1. Letter C. Evaporation. Number 2. Letter A. A pail of water under the heat of the sun. Number 3. Letter B. Heat. Number 4. Letter D. She will boil the solution. Number 5. Letter C. Because the water is heated and become water vapor. For number 6, letter E. Number 7, letter N. Number 8, letter E. Number 9, letter N. And for number 10, letter E.
Kindly raise your hand if you got a score of 5 and above. Great! As talked about earlier, this activity targets to test what you have known about our lesson for today. We must learn and discover more all about separating mixtures through evaporation. This time, please open your module on page 3, lesson 2, separating mixtures through evaporation. Are you all set now? That's good to hear.
Who among you loves to cook? Very good. Can you identify some ingredients found in your food? Sure, you know one. Have you seen the crystal white color that adds savor to our meal, and it is also used as components of other products sold in the market? Yes, you are all right. Salt. But have you even wondered how salt is made? Well, worry no more, because in this module, we are going to learn about evaporation process and its example.
Can you still remember some other process in separating mixtures? Yes, we have filtration. It is a method of separating an insoluble solid from liquid. When a mixture of sand and water is filtered, the sand behind in the filter paper becomes the residue. The water passes through the filter paper becomes filtrate. Sieving is defined as a method which two or more components of different sizes are separated from a mixture on the basis of the difference of their sizes. Thus, it cannot separate two substances in a mixture which have the same size.
Let us try to do this activity. Direction. Identify the technique of separating mixture. Write F for filtering and S for sieving. Use a separate sheet of paper. Okay, for number 1, powder with milk with small stone. Number 2, sand from stone. Number 3, alcohol from coins. Number 4, grind rice from buttons. Number 5, grind coffee from hot water. Now, I will give you 5 seconds to answer. Time starts now.
Time is up. Let us check your work. For number 1, powdered milk with stone, S. Number 2, sand from stone, S. Number 3, alcohol from coins, F. Number 4, grind rice from buttons, S. Number 5, grind coffee from hot water, F. Did you get it right? Very good.
Let us find out the importance of heat in separating mixtures. Heat is an important component to our environment. as it makes green things live and grow abundantly. The presence of the sun's heat serves as the main source of energy in our planet, as it brings many uses to the biotic known as living things and abiotic or non-living things components of our surroundings. Again, heat is an important component to our environment as it makes green things live and grow abundantly. The presence of the sun's heat serves as the main source of energy in our planet as it brings many uses to the biotic known as living things and abiotic or non-living things components of our surroundings.
As heat is used by animals and plants as the main source of energy, it is also useful in so many things in the process of evaporation as one of the techniques in separating mixtures. Evaporation is a process of separating mixtures which involves heating the solution until the solvent evaporates, leaving behind the solid residue. Heat, being the main component in this process, separates the mixtures of solid from a liquid. As liquid goes in the air in a form of gas when heated, changing liquid to gas an example of physical change. Some examples of evaporation are boiling water, drying clothes, and drying of roads after heavy rain.
From the brief informations you have heard, kindly open your module and turn it on page 5. Let us try to answer the following exercises in What is It? Write your answer in your science notebook or journal. Okay, for number 1, what is evaporation? The correct answer is evaporation is a process of separating mixture which involves heating the solution until the solvent evaporates, leaving behind the solid residue. Again, evaporation is a process of separating mixture which involves heating the solution until the solvent evaporates, leaving behind the solid residue. Number 2. What is needed to achieve evaporation process? The answer is we need to heat. Number 3. Give 3 examples of situation where evaporation process was observed. The examples are boiling water, drying of clothes, and drying of wet roads after a heavy rain. Number 4. What kind of material was left behind when mixtures was heated? The answer is solid. Number 5. What kind of changes is involved in the evaporation process? The answer is physical change.
Who got 5 correct answers? Great! Those who got 4? Very good. How about those who got 3? Good. And for those who got 2 and below, it's fine. We have a lot more activities to work on with.
As said earlier, that we prepared a lot of exercises for you to work on. And so, I would like you to get your journal or notebook and continue answering the activity. What's more, on page 5, and I will give you 10 seconds to answer. Direction. Read the condition stated in the box. Pick out those that undergo evaporation process. Write your answer in your notebook. Ready? We have burning paper, cooking noodles, writing, drying of sand after the rain, drying of wet floor, drying of plate after washing, cooking rice, coloring a book, cooling after sweating, boiling mango seeds, watching TV, and salt making. Again, we have burning paper, cooking noodles, writing, drying of sand after the rain, drying of wet floor, drying of plate after washing, cooking rice, coloring a book, cooling after sweating, boiling mango seeds, watching TV, and salt making.
Again, 10 seconds to answer. When we come back, we will check your work.
The Radyo Z-eskwela program of the Division of Davao de Oro is being brought to you by Nueda Builders Construction and Supply Incorporated, Maverick Builders Incorporated, Mitch Construction and Supply, Archicons Architectural Construction and Supply, DB Construction and Supply, Hanaway Builders Corporation, Phoenix Corvada Tagum Gasoline Station, Master Construction and Supplies, Mackenzie Builders, GP&H Construction Incorporated, Metro Gear Construction Corporation, NEN Builders and Development Services Corporation, Max Mays Enterprises Incorporated, We Inc. Construction Company, Rangay Construction and Supply, East Sussex Enterprise, WM Construction, Councilor Boogie and Miss Marjorie Vertodazo, Icon Builders and Supply, and Apex Mining Company Incorporated.
Time is up, and now let us check your work. Conditions that undergo evaporation process are cooking noodles, cooling after sweating, drying of sand after the rain, boiling mango seeds, drying of wet floor, drying of plate after washing, making salt, and cooking rice. Did you get a perfect score? Excellent! Let us read together the paragraph. I learned that evaporation is a process of separating mixtures which involves blank until the solvent blank, leaving behind the blank. I repeat, your task is to supply the correct word or words to complete the paragraph. I will give you 10 seconds to answer.
Are you through? Now, let us read the paragraph together with the correct answer. Ready? I learned that evaporation is a process of separating mixtures which involves heating the solution until the solvent evaporates, leaving behind the solid residue. It is clear to you now? I hope that all of you learned something new from our lesson today, separating mixtures through evaporation.
Since we only have limited time in doing all the exercises, I would like you to continue in answering the remaining exercises in this module, starting on page 6, what I can do. Please write your answers in your science notebook or journal. Don't forget to read the directions.
After answering what I can do, you can continue on answering the assessment on page 7 to 8 and answer the questions from 1 to 10. Make sure that you use separate sheet of paper for your answer and read the directions carefully and submit it to your teacher advisor once you are through.
For your additional activities this week, turn your module to page 8. Explain your answer. Write it in your science notebook or journal. You can submit your work to your teacher advisor. Just wait for their further instruction as to when they will collect your module and answer sheets.
And do not hesitate to ask or contact your teacher if you encounter any difficulty in answering. Always remember that we are all in this together. We hope that through this material, you will experience meaningful learning and deep understanding of the relevant competencies. We can do this.
For more fun and exciting episodes on Science 6 School on the Air program, just tune in to 88.5 Z Radio.
Dahil sa Radio Z-eskwela, siguradong masaya.
Hanggang sa susunod, this has been Teacher Marivic
And Teacher Tating saying, study hard, do good, and the good life will follow. Bye!
Radyo Z-eskwela Executive Committee. The School's Division Superintendent, Eufemia T. Gamutin Seso 5. Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Romel R. Handayan. OIC Curriculum Implementation Division Chief, Karina S. Frasco. School Governance and Operations Division Chief, Dr. Ruben J. Riponte. Members, Cecilia Morales, Dr. Hilda A. Opeña, Dr. Arlene B. Lim, Dr. Eldecris B. Calzadora, Dr. Dexter A. Siquinia, Nohara O. Pinute, Noemi P. Canales, Dr. Grace D. Pontillas, Virgilito C. Pabrices, Juanito Lapiceros, Engineer Norberto S. Manlangi, Jomar M. Dumupoy, Bob Dalan S. Milabat, Medard T. Ampit, and Paz Eugenia Villusino. Technical Working Committee, Productions and Communications, Lorely E. Quijano, Given G. Hinampas, Judyland D. Yu, Donna D. T. Bolifer, Mary Rose N. Resma, Riven Manuel, Irene Lea C. Manguhon, and Bessie Aya N. Banias. Social Media and Packaging Team, Christian and Hara L. Martesio, William R. Ranara, Joan T. Iscoton, Roberto S. Acusar Jr., May B. Istanyol, Richard H. Arellano, Lee L. S. Blanco, Ralph A. Tabanyag, Angelo Gutierrez Jr., and Jade Karen Arais.